All right, let's get into it. Today, we're tuning our Cosmic Radio to listen to some of the absolute weirdest, most unsettling sounds ever picked up from deep space. And believe me, what we found is way stranger than you could ever imagine.
You know, we're always told that space is a perfect silent vacuum. That old saying, in space no one can hear you scream. But what if that's not the whole story? What if the universe is actually screaming, humming, and singing all around us, and we just needed to figure out the right way to listen?
Well, the key to all of this is a really cool process called sonification. Basically, scientists can take all sorts of data that our ears can't process, things like radio waves or changes in a magnetic field, and translate that information into sound. And this isn't just for kicks, it lets them hear patterns in the data that they might have totally missed otherwise. And some of those patterns, well, you're about to find out just how creepy they can be.
So we're going to count down the top 5 most terrifying sounds from the cosmos. And we'll start our journey with what you might call nature's haunting soundtrack. These are sounds from things we can explain, but that doesn't make them any less spooky. Kicking us off at number 5, we have the Singing Comet. This is Comet 67P. Back in 2014, the European Space Agency's Rosetta spacecraft got right up close to this big old chunk of ice and rock, and it recorded something, well, something totally bizarre. The comet was putting out this weird, rhythmic, clicking song. Now, scientists figured out it was caused by oscillations in its magnetic field as it battled the solar wind. But when you listen to it, it sounds so structured, almost biological. It's just so strange. A dead piece of rock has no business sounding that alive.
For our number 4 spot, let's take a trip to the most beautiful planet in our solar system. NASA's Cassini spacecraft spent years exploring Saturn, and at one point, it dove right through the gap between the planet and its famous rings. The plasma wave data collected there, the sound version is pure nightmare fuel.
Seriously, it's this symphony of eerie whistles, unearthly screeches, and these haunting echoes. It sounds like it was ripped straight out of a classic 1950s sci-fi horror movie. You know, the kind of sound you'd hear right before the monster shows up on the spaceship. All right, coming in hot at number 3, we've got a sound from one of the scariest things in the entire universe. NASA aimed its Chandra X-ray Observatory at the Perseus Cluster, which is this gigantic collection of galaxies about 240 million light-years away. Right in the middle of it all is a supermassive black hole, and it is not quiet. Okay, this one is absolutely mind-blowing. Unlike the others, which are translations of data, these are actual sound waves traveling through the superheated gas in that galaxy cluster. The only catch is, the note is so incredibly low our ears could never, ever hear it. So, scientists did us a favor and pitched it up 57 octaves, and the result is this deep, menacing hum. It literally sounds like some colossal beast is just breathing in the dark. Okay, now we're taking a turn. We're moving into the truly unexplained. See, the sounds we've heard so far, they all come from a specific place. A comet, a planet, a black hole. But our number 2 sound, it's not coming from one place. It's a roar coming from everywhere at once, and nobody has any idea why. Let me introduce you to number 2, the space roar. Back in 2006, NASA launched a mission called Arcade to measure radio signals from the very early universe. They were expecting to hear the faint, gentle hiss of ancient stars, but what they heard instead was a deafening, cosmic roar.
And here's the part that breaks everyone's brain. Scientists had done the math. They knew exactly how much background radio noise they were supposed to find. What they actually found was a roar that was 6 times louder than all their predictions combined. It's louder than all the known radio sources in the universe put together.
Think about that. It's an impossible amount of sound. None of our models, none of our theories about the early universe can explain it. It's just this constant, powerful signal washing over us from every single direction. So the billion-dollar question is, what in the universe is making all that noise? And that brings us to it, our number 1 most terrifying, most mysterious sound from space. We're going from a constant roar that's everywhere to a single, brief whisper that was there for a moment and then gone. This is the 72-second mystery that has haunted scientists for almost half a century. It's known simply as the wow signal. And if you've ever dipped your toes into astronomy, you've probably heard of it, and for very, very good reason. It is, to this day, the single best candidate we have ever received for a genuine extraterrestrial signal. So picture this. It's August 15th, 1977. The Big Ear Radio Telescope in Ohio is doing its thing, scanning the skies for signs of alien life. And suddenly, it picks up this incredibly powerful burst of radio waves. It lasted for precisely 72 seconds, which was the maximum amount of time the telescope could even stare at one spot. When an astronomer saw the data printout later, he was so stunned he just circled the reading and wrote one word in the margin. Wow.
So why was it so mind-blowing? Because it ticked all the boxes for an intelligent artificial signal. See, radio signals from stars and galaxies are usually messy. They're broad spectrum, kind of like static. This thing, it was powerful and clean, on a very specific narrow frequency. It was exactly what you'd expect an alien civilization to use if they were trying to send a message. For all intents and purposes, it looked like someone was trying to say hello. And we even know exactly where it came from. The signal beamed out of a seemingly empty patch of space in the constellation Sagittarius, a spot with no obvious stars or planets that could explain it away as some natural phenomenon. But here's the most chilling part of the entire story. We have aimed our best telescopes back to that exact spot in the sky hundreds, maybe thousands of times since 1977, and in all those decades, we've heard nothing. Just absolute silence. It was a 72-second shout into the cosmic void, and then it was gone. So, from singing comets and groaning black holes to a mysterious universal roar and a single phantom signal from the stars, it is crystal clear that the cosmos is anything but silent.
All these sounds really force you to confront a pretty profound question, don't they? We've managed to learn the universe's hidden language of waves and translate it into something we can hear. And what we're hearing is a cosmos that is just filled with beautiful, strange, and sometimes absolutely terrifying noise. So it just makes you wonder, with all that sound out there, are we really the only ones listening?